came out with a spectacular set of numbers, but post that, they've come out with a very interesting announcement yesterday that they've entered into an MoU with the Karnataka government to set up a semiconductor assembly and testing facility, also a printed circuit board manufacturing plant. In addition to that, and the fact that this announcement mentions that the MoU could be worth 3,750 crores of investments, I believe, and I'll get that clarity from the company. There's also an investment meet with FIIs and some fairly high-profile FIIs in the likes of Schroeder, GIC, AI, and BlackRock. So it's my absolute pleasure to welcome in on the show Mr. Ramesh Kunhikannan, who is the Managing Director of Kaynes, and Mr. Rajesh Sharma, the CEO of the company. Gentlemen, thanks for taking the time out.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having us on the call.
The pleasure is ours.
Thank you.
First, a clarification. Tell us about this MoU, because there are 2 or 3 subsets within this announcement. What is this about?
See, on the OSAT, we wanted to do in the country. So we have approached the government, and these investments we will be doing in 3 phases. First phase of around 1,500 crores, and the other 2 phases will be the balance. Same with the PCB. We are immediately coming out with the 400 crore investment and balance in the second phase. Now, India as such has got a lot of imports of PCBs going on in the country from China. Now, before it becomes a controlled affair, we would like to have our own plant so that the electronic industries can benefit and we as a company can go to the next level. This is the plan.
Sorry, you want to add something, Mr. Sharma?
Yeah, and if you'd like to recollect from our RHP and the DRHPs, we had talked about, potentially exploring our backward integration. And in line with that, we always had in mind of, putting up a bareboard PCB plant as well as exploring on the OSAT facility. And so, in the almost been a year since we got listed last year. So these things are getting manifested now, and we are looking at this integration backward.
Okay. First, let me get the amounts out of the way, and then I'll come to the market size and what will you do. So the number 3,750 crores is large, but I understand that's for the whole project. You are doing it in phases. Still, 1,000 or 1,500 crores and 400 crores respectively that I heard sir say is not a small amount. How does this come? Internal accruals, debt, equity, or a mixture of all the 3?
As far as PCB is concerned, that project money we have already raised in our initial fundraise itself.
Got it.
And for this, we will be raising. But however, for a semicon industry, government's subsidy is also on a pari passu basis. So out of 1,500 crores, we will be eligible for anything between 600 to 700 crores from center government. State also will be giving. So totally around 70% will be government's share and balance will be company's share.
Which shouldn't be too difficult an amount for you to raise. I mean, whether you do it debt or equity, right? I'm guessing it's not internal accruals which will fund this.
We will be raising this funds.
Yes.
And any thoughts about whether it's equity linked or debt amount that you will raise?
It could be a combination of both. Yeah, it could be a combination of.
Okay. Sorry, I was interested because you have successfully brought down your debt equity ratio also in the last 6 months post IPO. And hence, even that is a comfortable situation. So I was just trying to understand what is the preferred choice. That's why.
Yeah, we should leverage it the best. Considering a good debt equity ratio now, we should be able to derive a good leverage right now.
Okay, great. But thanks for this clarification, because not everybody is aware of the fact that there are these subsidies attached to this as well. Okay. Now, I would love to understand what is it that this does? Because I heard you say that there is backward integration which has been in the plans as per the DRHP and the RHP. Excuse me for not going through them before the interview, but with a presumption that some of this is backward integration project as well. What about the semiconductor assembly and testing facilities? That also backward integration linked, or a lot of this will also be for external markets or external customers?
Semicon is not a backward integration. Semicon is a assembly by itself.
Got it.
So here we are partnering with a technical partnering with the company. We will let you all know shortly. And with that partnership, we will be growing to the next level. For India's growth and Government of India's plan, semiconductor is inevitable. And I'm sure and certain, not only we, many companies will come in. If you see, Taiwan has grown, China has grown, Malaysia has grown, all of them have grown through OSATs being present there. So I'm sure and certain India also will grow like this. And we have a couple of customers who have promised us that we will have the business with us.
Okay. The market for this is obviously very large. I'm just trying to understand the competitiveness of a made in India product as you would have envisaged in your business plan versus what could be available currently in the market. Any things that you can share with us?
Today, not even 0.2% is produced in India.
Of course.
So today, entire components are coming from outside. We are able to visually see a plan for sales to go up to 2,000 crores with this investment coming in.
Okay. No, which is fine, sir. I was just also trying to understand that a made in India product that you are thinking of putting out whenever this plant comes on stream, how would it be on the cost competitiveness front versus something that is imported currently?
We are able to do whatever current prices prevailing in Malaysia and China and Taiwan. And I'm sure and certain going forward with our skilled force in India, we should be able to bring it down.
Okay, well, I personally wish you all the best for that, and I'm sure everybody else does too, because we definitely need this. So tell us a bit about now the timelines for these. I mean, how, and just a clarification again, for the printed circuit board manufacturing as well, is that entirely for as a backward integration thing to be used further, or do you think some bit of it will be outside? And part two of my question, what are the timelines for each of these to get set up and get commission and come into your numbers at some point of time in 25, 26 as the case may be?
First question first. See, PCB as a fabrication, we will be doing not only for us, we will be doing for the country's requirement. I'm sure and certain we have ambitious plan with our customers to take it to exports also. But however, this country's requirement itself to meet will be a large requirement. So first 2 years, we will not be aiming at that. This plant will take anything between 12 to 15 months to start production. We wanted to start as early as next quarter. And when it comes to OSAT, my feeling is we wanted to start construction in next 2 to 3 months. We are ready with our plan. We are in the final negotiation with our partners on the technical collaboration. Once that is through, we will put the plans together and then construct. Rajesh, you want to add something?
Yeah, no, so certainly as Ramesh said, it's not completely captive consumption on the PCB side. So there would be external customers, could be both within India and outside of India as well for the PCB. And as the MoU takes the shape of a definitive agreement with the state authorities and the land allotment comes in, certainly our plan is that between the next 9 to 15 months or 18 months, the production should be starting on both the plants.
All right. So safe to assume that latter half of FY25 will see both of these units commissioned and producing, and possibly the full benefits coming into FY26. Fair assessment?
That's right. Yeah, second half of FY25 and early 26 should be the full benefit.
Got it. Maybe it's preempting too much, but I'm just trying to understand when companies like yours think of these manufacturing facilities, you think of a line and then you think of what is the possibility for future lines as well. So I'm just trying to understand, are you thinking of those lines already, that you set up line 1 of production right now with these investments and this MoU, and then have the ability and the capacity to add up multiple lines, if not for the PCB, then for the semiconductor assembly unit?
Yeah, for both it is true, sir. And actually, that's what happens. We start off the first line, start the production, start getting the validations and qualifications of the line. And as the customers start trickling in, the next lines get added to the project. And that is why it's phased out, as we say, phase 1 and phase 2. That is the whole idea, that we start deriving the benefit of the investment as quickly as we get into that.
Got it. You know, when I was speaking to your CFO a few days back, it was very... he was confident about the quantum of growth rates that are there for the industry and for your company, not just for the next 5 years, but arguably for the next multiple years. Now, I'm just trying to understand, is all of this a part of a pre-envisaged design of what will add to growth, or these investments and the outcome of these investments add to the earlier guided growth numbers that you might have given?
So I think what Jairam would have spoken in the earlier conversation with you, those were plans more that we had for our EMS or the ESDM business line. So these are certainly bolt-ons or add-ons to the plans that we are.
They seem to be much larger than just bolt-ons, to be honest, and which is why I was inquisitive. Okay, so this is one. Now
companies like us are able to bring in all these investments because of the country's requirement as such has gone up, as well as the government support has been very good. So otherwise, setting up semicon is not viable at all. So this government support has really helped companies like us to get there.
Got it. Last couple of questions, since the men who are driving the business are with me today, and I asked this to the CFO, of course, but I would love to understand from both of you, how do you see the next decade? Everybody, every brokerage note that I read, every fund manager that I talk to is pretty gung-ho about the opportunity size of the EMS space. You guys are doing that. You're doing some fairly niche projects as well, if I can call them that. How do you foresee the better part of this decade, or whatever time frame that you can talk to me about, for your space and for Kaynes within that?
So see, certainly, as Jairam has also been talking, the overall opportunity for the electronics manufacturing, and I would say overall manufacturing, certainly our interest is in electronics and EMS space. So there is a lot of impetus that has gone in, and the country, India is getting showcased at the global platform largely on the manufacturing side. So this opportunity and overall consumption being going up across the world on the electronics goods as well, and within India as well, that opportunity being very large, and whatever is the global landscape on the geopolitical situation, whatever is getting spanned out over the last couple of years, is going to yield results over the next 7 to 10 years, certainly. And I certainly emphasize that will overlook, the decade following this decade as well. So the outflow, the overflow certainly will be flowing beyond this decade itself. So we certainly look at that growth being more rapid in the years to come.
More rapid in years to come. Okay, that's interesting.
Plus, global requirements are also going up because of the geopolitical situations. More and more manufacturing should come to countries like us. Of course, there is competition, but we have to all look at how to improve efficiencies and gear up to meet the requirements. So that is inevitable. We have to do it if we want to grow. So I'm very sure and certain the people force which we are having, the company as such has geared up for that, and the customer also are also increasing.
Got it. My final question, gentlemen, and that is, sorry, Mr. Sharma, did you want to make a point?
Yeah, I just wanted to add on, with the successful launch of Chandrayaan 3, and you must have been hearing about the kind of opportunities that brings to Indian space market itself. Already we have been quite a leader in launching a lot of satellites for other nations. So I think with that successful launch of Chandrayaan, we did play an active role in Chandrayaan 3. We had our boards part of Chandrayaan 3 and landed along with the lander on the moon surface now. So overall, the opportunity for the complete electronic space, India is being really looked at as a very active and an innovative partner today. So that certainly will give an opportunity for players like us, and certainly Kaynes, for us to have that growth opportunity.
Okay.
In the industry.
May I ask actually, how many facets of the opportunity of the products opportunity that you have, or that is there in the market, have you exhausted? And how many newer avenues within the EMS space can you go to over the course of the next 3, 4, 5 years? Because there's some companies who believe, let me do deep specialization, let me stick to 2 or 3 or 4 products and go very deep in them and keep on mining that. And some companies who believe that, let me increase the breadth. I'm just trying to understand, how would you approach this?
We have our internal mining as a process. Existing customers, we wanted to increase our market share. But having said that, we also have newer plans. We are, as per plans, whatever we have discussed in the past, we are so far going as per plans.
Okay.
We are increasing our team size to handle this, and so far it is going good.
Touch wood.
And just to add to what Ramesh has said, see, we are a little bit of disruptive thinking people, and we just don't believe in going deep dive into a single segment. We are looking at more and more diversification across the verticals that we have been catering to. Certainly increasing our share of wallet with our existing clients, existing product lines, but also mining and hunting for more customers, more segments or verticals that we can look at. And certainly, this has been the philosophy of the company from right from beginning, that we, attract businesses which are more profitable in nature than just catering to the business lines. So we are looking at both going deep and going wide at the same time.
Got it. Okay, good to know that. My final question, aside of this announcement that you've done yesterday, there is also a parallel announcement around meetings with some fairly large global investors. Now, I'm trying to understand what is this interest from global investors for the EMS space and your company, and does this coincide with your fundraise as a planned event, or is this merely a coincidence?
It is a coincidence. We are doing it as a routine matter, but however, we will be coming with a concrete plan now to raise some funds.
Got it. Got it. Gentlemen, congratulations on this. Thank you for talking to us today and giving us these details. Lovely talking to you, and all the best for all of these and for the length and breadth of the different plans that you have.
Thank you very much. And we really enjoyed your discussion.
Thank you so much. It was, I'm sure, the same for us and our viewers. Much appreciate your time. Viewers, thank you so much for tuning in.